Okay, this video is going to be a how-to showing you what to do with your um, 5 top movies video. So the first thing you need to do is record it on your iPad. Now once you've done that, you're going to plug your iPad with a USB cable into the desktop computer. And then you're going to probably have to tell the iPad to trust the computer. It's going to pop up on the screen. Once you do that, you're going to want to open up the Photos app on the computer. So if you look at the bottom toolbar down here, you can see this is the Photos app. You're going to open that up. And once you do, and you've trusted your iPad to trust the computer with the pop-up, it's gonna you'll see your device listed on the left-hand side here. You're gonna click on your device. You're gonna find the video that you recorded. You're gonna click on it, and then you're gonna import that video. Once you do, it'll just be in your photos here. Photos includes any photos or videos. So you can see here is the video that I imported, that I made. And next we're going to take this video and we're going to use iMovie to edit it. Before I do that though, just for ease of use, it's best to take this video and drag it onto your desktop and release it, and so it puts a copy on your desktop. Once that is fully transferred over, you can close Photos, we're done with that, and you can open up iMovie. Now, once you open up iMovie, we're going to need to create a new project. Now, it's going to give you 2 options when you click on Create, and that is Movie or Trailer. Trailer really locks you into certain formats and templates, so we're going to choose Movie. Now, once you clicked on Create New Movie, it's going to load the window that we're going to work on with all of our editing. Now, the very first thing you want to do up here, it says My Movie. We're going to click on that because that's going to be all of the media that you're going to use for your video. So there's an import media arrow right here. That will appear if you have nothing imported. If you do have something imported, then right above it here, you can see my cursor is swirling around at the very top of the screen. This is where you can click to also import any media that is needed. So I'm going to import the video file. That's just going to be on my desktop is where I had saved those. And now once they're imported, you can take that stuff and you can delete it. But here is my video file. So I'm going to import that selected video. You can see it's loading it here. Now, the strange thing with a green screen is in order to get the special effect to work, you actually have to have your background stuff first. Okay, so before I could take this video and start editing it down here and working with it, I need to put down my background stuff. Now, I'm not going to have the first movie pop up immediately. Okay, so I'm actually going to take a title, and there's all these different titles that you can put in. There's different backgrounds, there's different audio files, there's all different kinds of stuff. There's different transitions. We'll get to all this stuff shortly, but we're going to start with backgrounds. Now, with all the backgrounds, I'm just going to scroll down, find a background I like. Because I'm talking about movies, let's choose the curtain one. So we're going to click and hold, and we're going to drag that down to the bottom of our editing window here. And you can see it's a live, like a little video clip. So if I press the space bar and play, you can see in the right hand corner is a preview. It actually looks like the curtain's moving a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to import all of, if I go back to my media here, that's where I'll have my green screen video. I'm also going to now click on the import arrow, and I'm going to add in my 5 movies that I talked about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There they are. You can either import them one at a time by simply clicking on them and click Import Selected, or if you click on the top one and then you find the last one that you want, if you hold down the Shift key and then click a second time at the bottom, it'll highlight everything in between. I'm going to say Import, and it's going to import all the movies, or all the video files and pictures. So the first one I talked about was Jumper, so I'm going to put that down. Then my 4th favorite was Pirates of the Caribbean, so I'm going to put that in. After that, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, which is right here, so I'm going to put that in. And then after Guardians of the Galaxy, it was Wonder Woman, so I'm going to put that in. And then finally, my favorite currently is the Avengers, so I will put that in. Now, when you default put in any picture in the background, you can see it's doing what's called the Ken Burns effect. And what it's doing, if I play it, is it scrolls from one area to the other. If I want to change that, I simply click on this picture I want to edit, and you can see it's highlighted in yellow here. That's how I know I've got this picture selected. And if I just actually double click it, it'll take me right to some editing features here. If you don't double click it, if I click on it once and then I go up to the top and I click on the little box here, this is our different features. Now this start and end, that's where I can drag these. See, if I do start and end, now if I play it, you can see it scrolls from one area to another. For my picture in the background, I'm just going to want a static picture, I think. So I'm going to double click it and I'm just going to say fit. And then I'm going to click the check mark to save that. So you can see now if I go back and forth, the picture's just in the background. It's not changing like this. Alright, it's great if you want to focus in on something, but for this, let's just take our backgrounds, I think, and let's double click them all and just say fit. Let's just put some static backgrounds in here. So I'm going to do that for all 5 of my pictures. Fit. Alright, so now those are all in the background. So again, before you can put the green screen video in, we need to put in your backgrounds first. We'll adjust the length of these to match what we're talking about later, because that's our goal, but we just want to get the backgrounds in. Alright, once our backgrounds are in, and you can always edit these later, but once you put the video in, you can't change the first one, at least not very easily. So we've got our backgrounds in, so our 5 movie posters, and then we have our introduction, just red curtain. Now I'm going to go up and grab my green screen video. I'm going to click and drag and put it on top of the curtain here. So you can see when I drag it down, I'm not putting it in front of, okay? Nope, I'm putting it on top of, and when I release, then you can see that the green screen video is on top of the backgrounds. And you might be thinking, okay, right now, you can't see any of those backgrounds. That's true. We have to edit this green screen video to make it so that the computer knows that it's a green screen. So what I'm going to do here first is I'm going to find where I start talking, because I had to record this myself. So there's me walking over and sitting down. So that's where my video actually starts. So I'm going to bring that to the very front. Alright, so now I have my video on top of these backgrounds. And if you look, I got to scroll back and forth here. It's huge. Well, underneath this preview video right here by the word settings, this slider adjusts your view. So the more you slide it to the left, the more compressed the view is. Okay, so I'm going to find an area that's about right. And now, just for my viewing choice, and now I'm going to click on my video. I'm going to click on these, notice it's highlighted in yellow. I'm going to click on the little double box here, and then now I have some special options. I'm going to click on the cutaway, and I'm going to choose green screen. Now, you'll notice before I do anything else that you still might be able to see some wrinkles in the actual green screen fabric from behind. So if I change this back, do you see how, like where my cursor is here, you can see some wrinkles here and on the side of me. So if I change this to green screen, I'm then also going to go over here and click on this eraser tool. And then I'm going to go over the top of a wrinkle, and just once I'm just going to click with the mouse, and that's it, just once. Now I don't know if you can see that, but it cleared up those wrinkles. Click the check mark to save that. So now whatever is below is coming up behind me as I'm talking. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to listen to my video, and I'm going to see where I start talking about the first movie. So I start talking about it right here. So I'm going to grab the curtain and drag it over. So then when I say Jumper, it's the first movie, that's going to appear in the background. Now I'm going to play this. I know I need to stretch this out, so I'm just going to grab the edge of this and just stretch it. And you can see you can make the pictures in the background as long or as short as you want. So I need to find where I start talking about the Pirates of the Caribbean. So then right here I talk about number 4, so I'm going to drag it and I'm going to match this up. Okay, so now I'm going to do that for each of those. So I actually got to shorten this up a little bit. I talk about Pirates Right. There we go. Matches it. So now I'm going to stretch this out. And okay, so right there, minute and 6 seconds. So I'm going to drag this to that line. Okay, so now that matches. Okay, I actually have to stretch it a little more over here. Okay, that matches. Now I'm going to drag that. So the ideal thing here, or what your objective is to make, as you talk about the video in the green screen, your background should match. So you can see, I talk about Guardians of the Galaxy right there, and that picture goes there. So now I need to find where I end talking about that. Okay, so right about there. So I'm going to drag that over. Okay, that matches up. So now I'm going to drag this out until I'm done talking about Wonder Woman movie. Still talking about the movie here. Okay, so I talk about it till there. So I need to stretch, grab this and stretch it to match up. Need to stretch it a little more. Okay, now this Avengers movie is just going to be all the way to the end, so I'm just going to drag this down and make it match up with the end of the video. You can see it looks like the video is growing. It's really not. Okay, now I'm going to trim off where I walk away because I don't have anyone else record for me. So just get this just right. Okay, trim that up just a little bit. Trim this to match. Okay, once I have done that, I have now completed all of the backgrounds to match what I'm talking about. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my titles, and I'm going to go back to the beginning of the movie, and I'm going to give this a title. Now, we didn't choose any themes or anything right now, so we're just going to pick any title here that you like, and I don't know, because we're talking about movies, I'm just going to choose one of these. It really isn't that important. But what we're going to do with it is we're going to place it on top of the green screen here. So I'm actually going to place it on top. So it'll be the third layer up. So I'm going to grab this, put it way up on top. Okay. Now this title, I can double click it, and then I can go over here and I can say my top 5 movies. And then maybe I'll put, I'll just delete that. There we go. So I'll just say my top 5 movies. Now if I play it, you can see the title pops up and goes away. Alright, now we're almost done with the video. But before we're done, let's add in some transitions in between our pictures. Because right now it just goes from one and skips right to the picture. That's fine. But let's add a little animation. So if I click on transitions, you can see these are all the different transitions that we can have. If I go to Mosaic, for example, if I click on it and then slide my mouse back and forth, you can see a preview of what it's going to do. If I want to use that transition, all I have to do is slide it down between the videos and between the images. And now when the green screen will have that special effect in the background. So if you watch the curtain, I play it, it does that special effect and it goes to the movie. So let's go ahead and choose some special effects that you like. I'm going to put some between each of my different movies. Okay, we'll do that one. Oh, let's do one of these circle ones. Okay, I need one more. What can we do here? Oh, we'll just do this spin one here. So you can see, see the special effects. It'll go a little smoother on your computer. Mine's just a little delayed because it's doing the screen recording and the video editing at the same time. Alright, so at this point I have added my backgrounds in. I have put my green screen on top. I have adjusted the green screen and trimmed off anything I needed, front and back. I made the backgrounds match whatever I'm talking about in the green screen. And I added a title on and transitions. The one last thing I can adjust, I want you to be able to adjust with this, is if it's hard to hear yourself for some reason, if you didn't speak loud enough, if you click on your green screen video file, and then at the top here, there's a little speaker for volume. You can click on that. You can actually adjust the volume level here up to 400%. You can also, in the video here, if you look on the screen, I'm on the green screen video. If I put my cursor right at this line here, this is the volume level. So you can make everything from 0 up to 400%. Because you can hear myself, I can hear myself quite easily in the video, I'm just going to leave it at 100%. Okay, so now I am ready to export this edited video file. To do that, you go to the upper right hand corner to this export button. I'm going to click on export, and I'm going to go to file. I want to export it as a file. Now if you had your YouTube channel, you can upload it directly to your YouTube, but for now we're just going to do it just to a file, and we're just going to save it right on this computer. So I click on file. We're going to call it top 5 movies. For resolution, you would probably want, normally if you're going to do YouTube videos at 1080p, for this class, to keep files smaller, to let the computer edit it faster, we're just going to put it at 720p. It'll still be nice and clear at that. We're going to say next. At that point, it's going to ask where you want to save it. For right now, our desktop is fine, because once it's there, we can drag it wherever we want, and we're going to click save. Now, once you do that, in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see this little circle appear next to your export button. This is it rendering the video. Okay, so even if I go to my desktop and a little icon will eventually appear out here for the top 5 movies, don't do anything with it until the circle completely fills in and then a little box pops up that says that your export is complete. Okay, because if it doesn't do that, then the video will be corrupted. So make sure you let this completely fill in, and then you get a little box that pops up that says your export is complete. You can see right here on my desktop my top 5 movies. It should, when it's all done, it will actually look like a preview of the video file. So you can see it's still rendering the video. Okay, so once that is completed, the exported video is done, ready to be used. As far as saving with iMovie, it automatically saves any work that you do. If you're done with this project, you just go up into the left-hand corner here and click on Projects, and you can name it Top 5 Movies. Say OK, and then you can see this is all your work here, or anyone who's using the computer's work. You can always go back and edit if you need to. So that concludes the very first video file. Again, you won't see it finish exporting here, but trust me that after a few minutes, it'll be exported, it'll be on your desktop, and then you'll have your finished video talking about your top 5 movies.